Hey. I'm still making my notes. You know how sometimes you're so early that you become late? That's what happened today. So anyway, today is the 17th day of August. This is the 52nd episode of the Be Your Own Hero show. HERO is an acronym. It means helping everyone reaps optimism. It's a clothing brand, really. It's a social impact clothing brand that I created during the pandemic. It has two purposes. The first is to provide brand new clothes to the unhoused, brand new shirts, socks, hoodies, sweatshirts, masks, etc. Brand new clothes to the unhoused. And secondarily, to provide them with a wearable affirmation that says something positive, like hero, and has a little crown on it. So the idea is giving is reciprocal. Helping everyone reaps optimism. It's a reciprocal action. You help yourself and you help others at the same time. So if you want to support, please do so. You can pop into my Etsy store. The URL is just giveherohoodies.com. I'm going to put that up on the board so you can check it out. Support at giveherohoodies.com. You'll see all the items listed there and how to support. So please do. All right, so quick disclaimer. I am not a personal trainer or a certified financial advisor. I am simply telling you about my journey and the things that have worked for me, and in many cases, the things that have not worked for me. So let's get into it, because it's Tip Tuesday, and you know I got a lot to say on Tip Tuesday. Okay, so first of all, thank you. So I've been hearing from Rev Melissa that many of you have been talking to her about the utility of this particular episode of my show, the Tip Tuesday, the money talk. So I'm very grateful for that. If you ever told me people would be listening to me talk about money and finding some usefulness in it, I would have been shocked. I'm still shocked. So anyway, this is me talking about money in order to learn it better for myself, to increase my own financial literacy. So I'm glad that some of you are finding this useful. All right, so let's just get into it. I feel like I got a lot to say, and I'm going to try not to talk too fast because I have so much to say. So I do have a question, and the question is, where's BMW? So last week on Tip Tuesday, I was talking about anecdotal knowledge and the fact that all of us have anecdotal knowledge about the things that we're involved in, and that information can be not only useful, but priceless in terms of investing in the stock market. We all know a lot about our various industries. So call on that knowledge. In my case, I've worked in the car industry as a test driver for many years. And so I know many things anecdotally about the car industry. So last week I mentioned that I happen to know that BMW owns Rolls-Royce and Mini Cooper. So in terms of a stock, that's a 3-for-1. If I buy BMW stock, I'm also investing in Rolls-Royce and investing in Mini Cooper. And I want to be sure to use the word investing in, the words investing in. We are all investors. If you have it just only $1 in the stock market, you're an investor. So start thinking of yourself as an investor, because it's going to shift your thinking. So 3-for-1. I was talking about this last week just as an aside, and then someone said that they tried to buy BMW on Cash App, but they couldn't find it. Okay, here's the answer. And I'm going to put it in my terms, as I do, to make it make sense for me. So each of these stock exchanges, to me, is like a different store. So let's say you got NASDAQ and the other stock exchanges. So in my mind, that's like Target and Walmart. Let's just use those two, Target and Walmart. So you're used to shopping at Target because it's close, but this time you go to Walmart and you're looking for something on the shelf of Walmart that you know you can get at Target, but it's not there. Okay, it's kind of the same thing. These stock exchanges do not all have all the same stocks. So Cash App does not have every stock that exists in the world. So I bought BMW on a different exchange. So I'm up on a few exchanges now. I started with Cash App, and then I got on Ameritrade. Ameritrade you've probably heard of before. It's been around for a very long time, and it's a more traditional stock exchange. So Ameritrade will have some stocks that Cash App doesn't have, and Cash App will have some stocks that Ameritrade doesn't have. The only answer for me is to be up on multiple exchanges. Cash App is the best place to start because it's so user friendly, And also, you may have noticed, those of you who have started investing on Cash App, you may have noticed that there is a little I, a small lowercase I next to many of the items in Cash App. You just tap that I is short for information. There'll be a pop-up that explains what you're looking at. I haven't seen that on any of the other exchanges. So it's a great introductory stock exchange. That said, once you get comfortable and you want to expand a little bit, you're going to want to get up on some of the other exchanges like Ameritrade. And as I mentioned, Ameritrade has been recently acquired by Charles Schwab. So probably mid to next year, you will be able to buy fractional shares on Ameritrade, just like you can buy fractional shares on Cash App. In case you missed the memo, Cash App lets you buy fractional shares, which means, let's use a specific example. Tesla is like $3,000 a share. Like that's a lot of money. But on Cash App, you can buy literally $1 worth of stock in Tesla. And so I call Cash App, just so you understand how I think about things, I have different buckets. So Cash App is my layaway stock bucket. That's my layaway bucket. I'm putting stocks on layaway. So I got Tesla on layaway. I got a little 5 on it, put another little 5 on it, just put whatever I can on it just to be in the game. And then Ameritrade for now is full shares. So I buy stocks that are inexpensive enough that I can buy a full share over there. So all that said, I bought BMW on Ameritrade. And by the way, BMW, when I bought it, was only trading at $30 per share. I mean, $30 to buy BMW and Rolls-Royce and Mini Cooper, I feel like that's a win. So all that said, you're going to have to get up on some other exchanges. Okay, moving on. Lot to cover. Some of you know that I was in the Hamptons this weekend. I was in Sag Harbor, and I did an on-location shoot yesterday. So I want to just talk about briefly the idea of being around money, because there are many thought leaders that will say you need to be around money and people who are comfortable with money because it will shift your thinking. And here's my quick story about this. On the train out to East Hampton, there were 2 people behind me, and a male and a female, and she was talking about drinking tequila, the fact that she was drinking tequila in the morning, and he expressed some surprise, and she said something like, well, I can't avoid tequila, so I might as well just go all in and drink it all day. There was silence behind me, and then eventually he says, yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. And I tried not to laugh hysterically. It was very funny. Anyway, the point is, now I'm paying attention to their conversation. I'm reading my book, but I'm kind of paying attention a little bit. He starts talking about how his job went virtual during the pandemic and he got a raise and he moved to Florida. Now, I thought at first he meant that the job moved him to Florida. No. They went virtual. He got a raise. He decided to move to Florida. Why? Because there's no income tax in Florida. So his salary became tax-free in Florida. I was like, what? I mean, these folks were maybe 25, maybe. And she was like, oh, yeah, sure. Like that was just his understanding. Like my job is virtual now. I got a raise. What I should do is move to a state where I don't have to pay taxes on that money, and then I can invest it. That is mind-blowing to me. I did not know that. And so what's my point? The point is there's so much to learn about money for me, and I imagine for you too. So you must keep choosing to learn about money constantly because there's a lot to know. My man moved to Florida specifically so that he could keep more of his money. Brilliant. Okay. So that said, you need to get a guy. You need to get a guy, a gal. You need to have a person that you listen to. And I'm going to play this little clip from the guy who I think is my guy. His name is Grant Cardone. So stay tuned for this.
What would be your best piece of advice for somebody to start making their life work?
Get one guy. Quit listening to 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 people. It creates confusion. And confusion means you don't do anything. You're better off with 1 piece of data that's wrong than 10 pieces of data that's right. I've done stuff that's not supposed to work, but I believed in it so much. It was like, dang, that worked. Don't do drugs. Don't do alcohol. Don't hang around losers.
Okay, so I'm gonna add a little a little grain of salt with that. Take that with a grain of salt. Because at our stage, and I'm just going to assume that we're kind of in the same space. At our stage, we need to get as much information as possible, because we need to have ideas in our head that, like, if we get a raise and our job goes virtual, we should move to this other state so we can keep more of our money. And in order to get those kinds of ideas in our head, we have to accumulate more and more financial information. That said, I agree with him that you should have a main guy, a main person. You have a main person that you're listening to. That person was Grant Cardone, and I think he is my main person because he spent 9 years of his life homeless and addicted to drugs. So let's just call it a decade. A decade of his life homeless and addicted to drugs, and now he's a multi-billionaire. This man bought a jet, all cash, $65 million. How you buy a jet, all cash, $65 million, no financing? How does that not hurt your pocket? So anybody that can go from homeless and drug addicted to buying a jet, all cash, that's my guy. I'm also listening to the other people that I've mentioned here. I'm listening to Wall Street Trapper. I'm listening to Richard Kiyosaki. I'm listening to everybody. But Grant Cardone, the guy you just saw, is, in my mind, my main guy, the guy that I listen to the most. And one of the things he said that I shared with you last week that really resonated with some of you was the idea of dead money. Woo! What a concept, dead money. So let me just double down on that quickly for a second. What it means is, if you've got your money sitting in a savings account, you cobble together $1,000, let's say, right? You got it sitting in your savings account. If you leave it in your savings account, you are losing money. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't feel like it, but you're losing money. Why? Because the savings account is giving you interest of, on average, 0.5%, right? Maybe a little more, but about 0.5%. Inflation right now is at a rate of 1.25%. So you're losing money at a rate of 1.25, but you're only gaining money at a point actually, the average for a savings account is 0.06, 0.6%. So, I mean, you're not making a lot of money if it's just sitting in the savings account, is the point. But you're losing money based on inflation, because inflation is not just rising prices, it's the falling value of the dollar, which is terrifying. And I'm going to talk about that in another episode. So you've got to plant your money someplace where it accrues at a rate of better than 1.5%, just to stay even, just to keep it at its current level, which is wild to me. That really blew my mind. So the only answer is invest. If you're not investing, you have dead money just sitting there dying slowly. So you've got to invest it. And I'm going to replace the term dead money with garden money. Why? Because I started saying to myself, no dead money. But I know now that the subconscious does not recognize the word no. And so when I say no dead money, my subconscious is hearing dead money. And I don't want that. I do not want that. Neither do you. So I am replacing it with garden money. We have to garden our money. We have to put it in places where it grows and accumulates, like the stock market, right? Okay. So I'm running out of time fast. But I think I got everything. We're going to go with garden money, and we're going to keep gardening our money in the stock market because it's the easiest place to garden money right now. Like, you can literally do it from the convenience of your home, and you can learn it. It's just a skill. Just keep learning it. Eventually, we will all have to invest in multiple asset classes. But for now, let's just get this stock market thing on lock. Let's just learn it and learn it and learn it. And that said, I want to end this section by sharing with you a quote from Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is a motivational speaker. He was very big in his time. Anyway, and also very funny. So check him out on YouTube. Anyway, here's the quote. If someone gives you $1 million, you better become a millionaire quick. Otherwise, you're going to lose the money. What? I'm going to say it again. If someone gives you $1 million, you better become a millionaire quick. Otherwise, you're going to lose the money. What does that mean? It means it's a mindset. It means it's about the way we think about money. It's not about the money itself. How many times have you heard about someone winning the lotto and then they end up right back where they were? Or winning in Vegas and end up right back where they were? How many times have you had a cash infusion of a lot of money and you got nothing to show for it? It's not about the money. It's about the way you think about money, which is important. And it's about the knowledge that you have about money, which is critically important. So all of us have to learn money. We've got to be financially literate. We have to immerse ourselves in the culture of learning about money. Otherwise, someone's going to hand us $1 million and we're going to lose it. And I'm not trying to lose it. I am not trying to lose it. So next time you're about to queue up your shows on Netflix, spend 5 minutes watching a YouTube about money first. Get it in your system. Just keep repeating it. If your show comes on at 9, at 8:30, start watching some videos about money and then watch your show at 9. Just get it in your system and it'll begin to make more and more sense. Oh man, I got so much I want to say. I'm already over time. Let me just say one more thing about this though. I was in Traverse City, Michigan before now, like a couple weekends ago, and the hotel had CNBC. I don't have CNBC. But I remember the Wall Street Trapper saying that he started watching CNBC in prison, and that eventually shaped his mind to understand money. So what I did in the hotels, I just put it on CNBC and I kept it there. Instead of HBO, they had HBO. You know I wanted to watch the movies, but I kept it on CNBC and I kept it on mute and I just watched it. I would just, do my other things and look up. And I swear to you, within 2 days, it started making sense. And by the way, they have every CEO of every company you ever heard of on the show talking about their plan or lack thereof for their company. I mean, that's like watching the debates, right? That's like watching the presidential debates. You watch and you see what they say, and then you cast your vote. Well, you watch CNBC and you see what the CEO say, and then you cast your vote monetarily for that stock based on who they are and what they're saying. I mean, it's like right there. Like that's the feeling I got. It's right there. The information is right there. It's not even hidden. It's right there. You just have to tune into it. Okay, way over time. I gotta go. I gotta go produce Rev Mel's show, and I've already encroached on the person's time right behind me. So I'm gonna close out. I guess I'll just end by saying that I'm still doing the charity run. Today was day 78. I donated to the 4th nonprofit yesterday. So 4 profits donated to, 3 more to go. I will talk more tomorrow about what those 4 nonprofits are, and we can wrap up the this phase of the charity run, because you see I'm still running and more people have asked me how to donate. So I'm working on that donation link for Thursday. So I got to run. I will hopefully see you in a few minutes on Rev Mel's show. Her show is at 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central. My show, the Be Your Own Hero show, once again, is at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Mountain. The Be Your Own Hero show, Monday through Friday. So check me out tomorrow. I think I'm gonna have to say more about money tomorrow because there's still stuff on my list. So tune back in tomorrow, and we'll keep talking about Tip Tuesday. And if you want to give me a tip for giving you tips on Tip Tuesday, feel free. My Cash App is just Sekou Writes. You already know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna stick it straight into the stock market. I'm gonna buy some more Tesla. That's what's up. All right, so let me go. In the meantime, keep doing. Be a hero. Be your own hero. And remember that now, right now, is better than perfect. Later.